Hey guys, I'm back in Turkey here at Selig Arms. I have so much to talk to you about. We have the Camira 223 here. We've done the accuracy and the reliability test. It's been fantastic, so I'll show you all of that. Next, we'll be talking about the Chimera 308. She is ready. I didn't expect it to be ready, but again, we've done an accuracy and reliability test, and I'm going to show you all of that. Following that, we have the Buckmaster magazine fed version. So this is going to be extremely interesting. I also didn't think she was ready, but she's ready. And then last but not least, the Buckmaster Gen 2 tube is getting a lift. We have a 7 and a 10 round magazine version now, and a bunch of other stuff. Also, I'll be talking about what you can do to your Gen 1 and how you can pimp your Gen 1 and the current Gen 2 with other accessories and cross-compatibility across the two versions. So stay tuned. I'll get right into it right now. We've done an accuracy and a function test with the Camira 223 in order to make sure that the gun is ready for production. Now, I'm super excited about the results. We have used originally Turkish ammunition to sight in the firearm and see what the Turkish ammunition can do. However, when we looked at the actual ammunition and put the rounds next to each other, we could clearly see a height difference of the ammunition. So the tolerances are, very average. We have been able, however, to import some Hornady ammunition, so that's TAP, Hornady 60 grain ammunition. And as you can see, we went from a 2 or 3 MOA group down to a 1 MOA for when I shot my group or my groups. And Selig has provided a professional test shooter to the accuracy test as well. And needless to say, he shot a bit better than I did. It was quite entertaining, but he was able to shoot sub MOA, almost half MOA groups with the TAP 60 grain Hornady ammunition. So I'm very, very happy with the result. The feeding test went very well as well. We haven't had any stoppages, and I've put through countless rounds in fast repetition until that thing was boiling hot. I believe that the Camira now is ready for production and will deliver for our market exactly what we need. We have improved on the original design of the Camira that I posted a few months ago significantly. So I'll be walking you shortly through the exact changes that we've made to the gun since the last video, which basically drove the improvement in accuracy and reliability. The only one little piece that will change before production begins is the trigger pull weight and the crispness of the trigger. It felt like it needed a tiny touch-up, which the guys are now working on, so that will be ready for production. We are legally required for the trigger to have a 4-pound trigger pull weight at importation, so that's what it's going to be, or as close as possible to it while not being below it, and we're making it a crisp trigger while not compromising on any safety concerns. The trigger will not be an adjustable trigger, however, you will be able to take the trigger or the firearm to your local gunsmith and get them to do a trigger job based on your specific needs. I'm excited. The Camira 223 will be available in Australia within the next 6 weeks, maybe 7 weeks, depending on how fast we can finalize the production and organize shipment. We have our import permits. We're just awaiting the export permit from the Turkish government, which should be about 5 weeks away, and then we organize shipment and we're on our way. Now you can order the Camira now on seligarms.au or through your local gun dealer. I do have one quick question though. So shall we color the bolt instead of chrome silver in chrome black? As well as the trigger? What do you guys think? Put it in the comments, silver or black. Let's talk about the changes that we've made to the Camira. Okay, so this is the original Camira. before the changes. The original would have 2 pins, one up here, a smaller pin, and then one larger pin. The pins would locate the barrel group down here and up here. Now what that would mean is that if a little bit of play is in the pins that may arise over time, the problem would be that a 2 micron shift in the pins here, and I'm just showing it dramatically, would change the accuracy of the gun by about 1 MOA, or would increase the group size by 1 MOA. In order to prevent that and ensure longevity, what we've done is we made some major changes. The new Camira, and this is the production Camira, has this setup. Now, as you can see, the Picatinny rail is now cold pressed to the barrel group, which means that even if the barrel moves, your sight on the Picatinny would move with it, and therefore would always stay sighted in and always true. So there's no play whatsoever, even if this wasn't accurate anymore or would have some play within. In order to increase the, the tightness or decrease the tolerances in this part, what we've done is, instead of using 2 pins, we are using a screw bolt. Now this screw bolt basically pulls in the receiver onto the barrel group. So we have made another cut in here, which then allows the receiver to tighten around the barrel and therefore give a much tighter fit. This has dramatically increased the accuracy. In addition, what this allows us to do is we will sell this group as an add-on that you can buy aftermarket. So why would you do it? Because you can mount a scope on top of this Picatinny rail and sight it in and leave it sight in. And if you do want to use a different scope, you can just drop the barrel group out, drop the other one in, where you might have a thermal vision scope or a competition scope that you really do not want to take off your gun and have to re-sight in all the time. So that's a very nice factor. It will also allow us in the future to potentially offer 300 blackout and other calibers that you can just drop in and run in your Camira. But we're investigating the possibility at the moment because in Turkey you have to have mass manufacturing permits by the government for each individual caliber. So there's a lot of paperwork that needs to be done and a fair bit of testing. So I'm not promising it yet, but we're certainly looking into it, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to offer you aftermarket different caliber sets for the Chimera 223 and 308. Further changes that we've made from the original version in regards to reliability of the ejection. It has been a problem in the past. We've addressed it by changing out the springs, which made a dramatic improvement, but we've also noticed when I was here in Turkey last time that the bolt, when it unlocks and locks, this pin moves and turns the bolt. Now that would, in the receiver, basically slam against this corner that is, well, meant to be there in order to turn the bolt. Now over time that can wear out. The other thing that would happen is that the bolt, because it's not guided, can move within the receiver back and forth and would change the timing and the angle of the ejection, causing ejection problems. To prevent that from happening, what we've done is we've placed this guiding lug on top of the bolt so that it will continue to be guided within the receiver and then have only a minimal impact onto the receiver, just like other platforms do. And yeah, there will be a slight mark, but that is common and that is just the way firearms work, or these type of firearms work. So This will dramatically increase the longevity of the receiver as well as the reliability of the ejection. I'm extremely stoked with the changes, and in the footage you can see that it has made a great difference and the accuracy is really, really good. So I'm super happy and will bring these firearms to you very shortly. I am super excited about the Chimera 308. She is almost ready. Now we've done the accuracy testing as well as reliability testing, and she performed flawlessly. Now the current version as it is here is a 1 in 12 twist 308 in a 18.5 inch barrel. Now I would like to know from you, would you prefer a 1 in 10 twist or a 1 in 12 twist? And based on that, we basically put it in production with one or the other. So let me know in the comments, please. Okay, so the 308 will come in a single stack 5 and 10 round magazine. Now the reason for that is that if we were to go double stack magazine, the receiver would need to be widened and redesigned. Now that means that it costs more, but it also means that we have to wait longer in order to get the 308. And in order to get it to the market as fast as possible at a reasonable price, we have opted for and accepted a single stack design. Now let me know in the comments what you think. I really, really appreciate your feedback either way. Now, the other thing is price. So the price point hasn't been finalized, but we are estimating that it will be around the $1,800 Australian, including GST. So that's going to be, or very close to that, is going to be the RRP price of the 308 Camira. The 223 Camira is $1,599, which you can already pre-order. The 308 will be available around November, and you can now pre-order it on selicarms.au or via your local gun dealer. This trip has been amazing because I get to talk about so many new guns that are actually ready. So here we have the Buckmaster magazine fed. This is a 5-round magazine, and we will have these available with 10-round magazines as well. They do come standard with a 5-round, but you can purchase the 10-round magazines if you so wish. In the footage you can see me shoot with a 10-round magazine. It is quite long, but for the guys that want to shoot competition, that's probably not really of concern. It's more about shooting fast targets and win the competition. The Buckmaster Gen 2 M, which is what this is, M for magazine fed, is a completely new design. Now, no parts of the Buckmaster Gen 2 with the tube fit the M version. So the only part that is exchangeable is the buttstock. Everything else is a new design. The design of the gas system is actually based on the Chimera in order to allow for the magazine to actually have room here in the receiver. You can also see that the receiver is designed closer to the Camira in design, whereas the current Buckmaster with the tube is designed with a different receiver altogether. The rifle will RRP for $14.99 in Australia. It's available now for pre-order via selicarms.au as well as your local gun shops. The gun will land in the country in about 8 weeks' time, so that puts it into October. We're just finalizing the export permits and the import permits and put the gun into production now. The Buckmaster Gen 2 M will be available in the same configurations as the Buckmaster Gen 2 tube with different buttstocks, and you'll find all the information that you need on selicarms.au or australiansportingagencies.com. The Buckmaster Gen 2 tube is now available in 7+1 and 10+1. We considered to do magazine extensions as per the last video about the Camira and Buckmaster. However, when we got into actually designing the extensions, it just looked hideous. So we can't really bring them to market with extensions. it just doesn't work properly the way we thought it might. So instead, and for the New South Wales compliance, we're bringing them out straight from the factory in a 7+1 and 10+1 configuration, as well as obviously in the 5+1 as we have them already in the country. So for the customers who already have a Gen 2 or even a Gen 1 Buckmasters, you'll be able to purchase the 7+1 or the 7 tube and the 10 tube as a tube set from us, and then go to your local gunsmith and get the gunsmith to mount those onto your rifle and change your maximum cartridge capacity. Now, please be aware that in some states that's possible, in some states that isn't, so please go by your state regulation. I also highly discourage from trying to do it yourself, because you need to use heat in order to get the magazine out as they're Loctite and then put them back in with Loctite and so on. It's really something that that an armorer should be doing, and so we recommend please go to an armorer and get the armorer to do it. Don't try this yourself. You also might be breaking the law in some of the states in regards to what you can and can't do to your firearm. Okay, so that's important. The Buckmaster Gen 2 tube stocks will also be available and actually fit the Gen 1. So customers who have the Gen 1 can upgrade the butt stocks as well as the barrels. Now the barrels from the Gen 2 will fit the Gen 1. However, the Picatinny rail on the Gen 1 with the RIP, with the standard, will not be the receivers will not be able to take the tactical Picatinny rails from the Gen 2. So you would have to tap the receiver in order to do that and make a cut on the receiver. But the tactical Gen 1 receivers will be able to use the Picatinny rail as well as obviously all the barrels. So for customers that want to swap that, they can buy those aftermarket from selectarms.au or your local gun dealer. Furthermore, the forend will also fit, so you can also upgrade the forend. The Buckmaster 7 and 10 shot will be available in about 6 weeks' time, so that puts us just on the end of September, beginning of October. You can already pre-order them now on selectarms.au or your local gun dealer. Exciting news for the customers who want shorter barrels. We will also be offering in about 6 weeks' time the 16-inch versions of the Buckmaster, and that will be for the Buckmaster tube as well as the magazine fed versions, and you can buy them as spares as well. So for customers who currently have a 28-inch and want to run a 16-inch as well, they can buy the 16-inch barrel and then just swap them over. The Buckmaster as well as the Chimiras will be available in a left-hand configuration. Now, the only difference between the right and left-hand configuration is that the button, instead of the left-hand side for the right-handed shooters, will be on the right-hand side for the left-handed shooters. Please keep in mind that the ejection port and charging handle will remain on the right-hand side. For customers who have already a right-handed version but would prefer a left-handed version, the forend will be available for purchase aftermarket. So guys, this is it. I hope you are as excited as I am. All these changes, the Buckmaster magazine fed, the Camira 308, the Camira 223 are coming, so that's fantastic news. If you have any comments and any questions, please, as always, put it in the comments below. I'll get to them. I'll answer every single one of them. I'm really interested in your thoughts and your feedback, and hope to bring better and better product to the Australian market for you guys to enjoy. So until then, thank you very much.